Good morning guys, it's June the 1st, I'm Henry Green from London Trading Group. I'm just going to run through what we're looking for in the markets for today's trading session. Okay, so the euro, we expected it to bounce yesterday. We rallied up to just over 111.60, so I believe we got up to about 111.80. 111.75 looks kind of to be the area. So this fib did complete, but we have since taken it out. So this for me now is we're just going to go sideways. So this is a range now for me in the euro. I think if you get back down to 111, I think that's certainly a really good buy zone. So I'm going to be looking for longs around 111 because I still think that this potentially goes higher from here, especially after this break through the trend line and then it's fall back through and we're back inside it now as well. So I think this one's one to be wary of. I really like its position on the daily chart. For me, this looks like a really good buy from the daily chart, so long as we don't close below 111. If we do manage to close below 111, all that changes, and my preference goes to the short side. So maybe we do get a blip down here. Ideally, in an ideal world, you get a blip down to this, complete this, and then you close back above 111. So 110.60, complete back above 111. That is a perfect buy in euro dollar. So I'll certainly be looking to buy some if it gets down there. I'll probably set an order in to be buying some should we get down there. So even if it just gets down there, I'm not going to wait for a rejection. Okay, so cable was an interesting one. We had a huge sell-off day again yesterday, which I don't think a lot of people would have saw coming. I certainly didn't. I was looking for potentially a buy, although I was never long in this. Thankfully, I was looking for a buy. And we have sold off. We're down at 145, well 144.70 now. I do still think this gets to 150, but now it's just a case of how it's going to get there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to change this equivalent trend line. So that's that's not the nicest one. So this is probably the trend line that's in now. And if it's found some support around here, which it has done, the cluster of moving averages are coming in here. So I've got on the day, I've got the, what's this one here? Okay, I've got the 80 moving average and the 50 all coming in around where it stopped today. So I think if you're looking to buy around the bottom of this range, then that's probably a good idea. Maybe wait for a freak out on the bottom side, so maybe potentially looks like it's going to go early this morning and then doesn't. But what you've got to remember in the big picture is we are still in this. If I just show you, we are still, I mean, we have broken through that trend line, which isn't great, but we are still in the buy zone. So we're still at the 618 here, and we've held nicely. So we've just found good support at the top of this bit here, so at 144.70, and this is actually quite a good level. So I think that's probably a good hold level. So if we just put the fib in, this probably just hit the D, I imagine, to about the pip. So yeah, as you can see, we're down at the next fib swing now. So obviously I don't like the fact that we have gone through there, and we didn't make a higher high there. So this trend line is broken. This one's broken, certainly. So we could at least play the pullback to that. I mean, if you go through this trend line, then you've got to start looking for the longs. But off yesterday's candle, can I see this instantly going long? Well, not really. I think you at least need a holding day. So I'm going to wait to see what happens in cable. Potentially it's going to be a rally on Thursday with all the news we've got out on Thursday. So I'm going to potentially be waiting for that. I don't think there's much in it today. I certainly don't think you go back up through 147 today, for example. So that's that's the move that I'm looking for, and I can't really see it happening today. Okay, so dollar yen had a big day and it's still pushing. So we've got significant yen strength happening here. We are through the trend line now, so if we close like this on the hour, this is a really bearish signal, and then you've got to be considering the short side in dollar yen. So I was looking for the quick move higher, so I bought it around here yesterday and was quickly stopped out. But what I'm looking for now is for that move to pull back in, and then we go lower. So potentially this is completed now. We are at the 118, so we're looking for a pullback all the way down to 108.70, which is down here somewhere. And how we're going to get there, so I'm just going to fib map that. Hopefully we're somewhere around a D now. And so we can have a little bit of a pullback before the continuation move occurs. So what I'm going to look for is hopefully we have a fib pullback. So AB, that's going to be the D, so that's going to be a new AB hit. So we put the new AB in here. We've gone deeper, so that's this fib is now the one in play. Yeah, and as you can see, we're at an overextended D here. So if this is hit, we pull back. If this is the low, so if this is the low that we've expected, we had Bank of Japan last night. But if you get the pullback now into the 38, so into around 110, sorry, I think that's quite a good sell down to 108.70. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. Again, watch 21 on the day because it seems to be respecting that. So that's something to look for in dollar yen, the 21 moving average on the day. Dollar CAD's an interesting one. We went up and tested that 200 again. We're back down at 130.50 now. I do think this is still quite an easy buy back up to 130, 140. And I'm certainly going to be looking for that. The moving averages are still here, so I think a buy here with your stop below these lows is still a good option. And I'm probably going to certainly look for that this morning. So maybe you get a little freak out on the short side. Looks like it wants to run away, and then you get that initial rejection and then move back up again. But all the moving averages have closed in We have broken the trend line, so I do like that higher. So what I'm going to wait for now is potentially either I get in at a good price or I buy up through these highs. And I think up to test 130, 140 is a really easy buy, because you're going back up to test that 200 moving average again. Still quite a bullish day yesterday. Certainly one I wouldn't really expect this to completely sell off today. And we are at a really good price now. So potentially looking for longs around now in dollar CAD with a target of 130, 140. Aussie had a good day yesterday. We finally closed above the the 8 moving average on the day. Any pullbacks, I'm looking for buys here. We finally broke through. We held really nicely overnight and have since rallied. So we pulled back to 38, just the textbook move. We're now nearly up at the D. I think you've got one more push up at least to the D, and I do expect this to almost overshoot. So I think 73.07 is my level, but I think you could probably get to 73.40. So that's what I'm going to try and get. So if you manage to get a nice pullback, where are we going to look for? So what we could do here, if this is just the first pullback in this one. So where are we? So okay, perfect. So we hit a 15-minute D. So that's why this one stopped. So you just got to look for the 15. You got to look for the 38, which is coming in around here. 72.60. I think it's probably quite a good buy zone, and I'm looking for sort of 40 to 70 pips. I think at least on the top side in that one. So let these moving averages cross over, as they all are doing anyway. And I think Aussie is going to be a really good buy for today, as long as you get that nice pullback. Kiwi had an interesting day yesterday, actually. I did something that, I password about it, so I clearly wasn't expecting what it did. We had a really nice rally in the Kiwi, so we broke the trend line, and it broke and went higher, and now we've failed at the 127. So we could get a pullback here. We're at the 15-minute D, so that's pretty interesting. But certainly for me, I do think that this could be quite an interesting move. You're running into all the bigger moving averages now, so the 50's come in, and my custom moving average has as well. So that's certainly going to cause some harm to this market. So be wary that the 67.90 is a key level up here, and I do still think this gets to 65.90. It's just a case of how and when, because I think that double top does need to be hit, and if it rejects today and it sells off tomorrow, no one will be surprised at that candle. So I'm certainly going to be looking for the short side in Kiwi still. I know it's broken the trend line, but I've got to wait for the next inner trend line in terms of the upwards move to be broken before I can consider selling this. But certainly I still favour the short side, and I think probably around these zones is probably quite a good level to be looking at. 67.90 is a really good level to be looking for the short in Kiwi. So that's what I'm going to be looking for in that one. Okay guys, that's a quick wrap of what I'm looking for today. As I said, I still think Aussie Kiwi is my favourite trade. I can't get it up at the moment because my mouse seems to have frozen, but that's one I think that looks great. Please leave any comments you have in the box below. Click subscribe to never miss a video again, and I'll be back tomorrow with a market update for that trading session. So I hope that's been useful, guys, and happy trading for today. Thanks very much for listening.